Hello, my name's Hayden Lewis. On behalf of Razmafzar, I'm going to show you the basics of boxing. So the first thing I'm going to show is just basic stance. So everything starts in your stance. Everything. Okay, so depending if you're right or left-handed or whatever feels comfortable, dictates whatever hand you have in the front. It's very similar to if you have a kame or a kanjar or a card. It's a similar stance where you have the weapon in front and your hand in the back. Very, very similar. So, that being said, I'm right-handed, but predominantly I started off left-handed or southpaw. Reason why I do that is because I can instantaneously wrestle. I can wrestle off both sides, but my right side is stronger, so when I'm wrestling, my right leg's usually in the front at first. Same thing when I spar and train and all that. So given I typically need a cane to walk good, but I'm gonna bear with it, so as long as you bear with me, okay? All right, so start off shoulder width apart, just square stance. All right. What I do to teach beginners, I take one step forward with your lead leg. So whether that's right or left, bend the knees, okay? But I'm not staying front. So now both my feet pointing straight at the camera. We back up a little bit. Both my feet are pointing straight at the camera, okay? So now I'm gonna get my feet that are like this, 45, okay? And I just slightly bend my knees. I'm not going deep necessarily, but that way if I need to bounce, I can, okay? So now I'm here. What am I gonna do with my hands? A lot of people I see, even high-level guys, and if it works for them, it works for them. It doesn't work for me. A lot of people, they have their chin up and they bring their arms up. See that? You're gonna get tired, right? Even if you bring your arms up high, eventually your hands are gonna drop from being tired. And if you don't train to keep your chin tucked, on top of that, your chin's wide open. All right, so what I do, I keep my chin tucked, okay? Keep my chin tucked. And I keep my arms on my ribs. So it's actually resting my arms while simultaneously guarding my ribs as well. And I'm like this. So like if I'm gonna be a little dramatic, I kind of have my fingertips like this. And I'm looking kind of like if I have horns like a bison or a bull. And that's how I look at my opponent. So I'm looking at the camera like that. Okay, and I'm not always uptight like that, but this is just for demonstration's sake. So now that I'm in my stance, my knees are bent. If I'm taking a step forward, I push off with my back leg, and I step forward. My back leg follows. So another common mistake people do is they get on it like they're riding a skateboard. We don't skateboard, we're fighting. Okay? So always keep your legs in the right spot, okay? Don't get in line. Boom. That way I could switch here if someone's behind me. Here, here. That's why you train both stances. You don't focus on one stance. That's a big mistake, okay? For a real fighter, in my opinion. Now if you're boxing, MMA, and you're training one stance, you're training for a sport, whatever. But for reality, I believe in training both stances as well. So anyways, here, take step forward, back leg follows. Step forward, back leg follows. Step forward, back leg follows, right? My chin's tucked. I'm gonna lift my chin to speak, okay? So, same thing, going backwards. Push off with my lead leg. Push off, it follows. Push off, it follows. Push off, it follows. Okay? So now, Want to go left, want to go right. All right? So take a step, follow, step, follow. Want to go right, step, follow, step, follow, step, follow. And with the stance, the movement, it sets up head movement as well. So say I'm going side to side like that. I'm in my stance, my knees are bent. I'm keeping my motion in my body because I don't like to be totally stagnant. So I'm kind of just moving around. Say I'm going right, step right, drop my head, boom. But my hands are still there. Going left, boom. So imagine there's a line or a rope bisecting this room I'm in, or this garage I'm in, my dojo. I'm going under that rope. And another thing you could symbolize is going under someone's arm with your head. Boom. So that's how you see those counter punches. They throw in a jab, they move their head outside of it, under and outside of it, overhand, straight to the body, hook to the body, hook to the head, or if you have a knife, boom. So I think head movement can translate to weapon fighting. I'm not super knowledgeable yet in fighting with the sword and shield, but I know from Filipino martial arts that empty hand translates pretty good to when you have something in your hand as well. So take it with a grain of salt. Anyways, so head movement. So if I'm going forward, try not to drop my hands because I'm used to countering off of them. Boom. Boom. Okay? So I'll go over it all again. Losing my head, step forward, leg falls, right? Boom. Boom. Okay? Now move into a circle. It's kind of like stepping forward. If I'm going to my right, my opponent's coming at me, I step, rotate. Step, rotate. Step, rotate. If I want to go the opposite way, step back, rotate. Maintaining my stance. Maintaining my stance. Okay? So stance is where everything begins. Stance and footwork. So I'll go into more detail with footwork, and I'll angle my camera better to look at my feet to see what they're doing, and we'll go from there. Given, like I said, I typically need a cane to walk pretty good. It's pretty painful, but I work through it. So if I look kind of slow or look like I'm crippled, forgive me. So thank you very much for watching. If there's anything else that you other members want me to go over and you feel like I'm qualified to show you, I'm all for it, all right? Thank you very much.